You're listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers.
Presented by CMH Heli Skiing and Peak Performance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right,
it's crazy. My brother's a teacher. He was working in Vancouver as a sub, and he did this little experiment. Like, I think grade 5s, grade 6s, all these different schools. He'd ask them like what they want to be when they grow up, and they'd write secretly. And by a landslide, the biggest professional choice that all these kids have is YouTuber.
Really?
So depressing, yeah.
Do you know why? Because they want to do like unboxing videos, so they get a bunch
Yeah,
of free
exactly.
shit.
They want money. They just don't want to work hard. Want it to be about them.
Straight up, I had the exact same idea, man. Like, I want to be a
Ski unboxing.
I want to be a YouTube unboxer.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody listening to this show, if you have a company, send me some stuff in a box. Don't put a bomb in there. Don't put any like weird shit. Actually, weird shit maybe, and I'll do like unboxing video. I'll do ski industry unboxing videos for the smaller brands. And we'll give
I think
you
it'd
some
fly.
love.
Yeah, there's no one doing unboxing videos for the ski shit.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Sex toys, skis.
Maybe we'll just get a we'll get a like a PO box going, and we'll get you boys involved.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, we'll shoot it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, we kind of cut our teeth doing some hilarious jacket reviews and stuff when we were in just out of high school.
Oh, really?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're no strangers to gear testing.
So I don't know the like origin story of you guys. So like, how did you get? So basically, CK9 Studios.
Yeah.
I showed you that piece of paper with all the questions I had on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have enough time for all those questions.
Yeah. But yeah, let's hear like, how did you guys meet? Like, how did things get started?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll start way back then.
Let's go way back.
Grade 7.
Grade 7.
No way, your friend, like
BC,
high school friend, or like elementary school friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
just at that awkward teenage years. No, I guess, yeah, I mean, you always gravitate towards certain people, and Clay and I gravitated towards each other. We were both the kind of friend that your mom doesn't want you to have.
Oh,
you
for
know?
real?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's going to be trouble. He's pushing the envelope.
I don't like the trouble. I don't like the energy those boys have when they're
Those
together.
Mitchells, I don't know about that, but yeah.
And then I was the same way for my mom. That's shave. I don't know about that. Coming over, Sam used to always come for like, sleepover parties when we were like younger in high school and stuff. And my mom would wake up and we'd always like, when you're younger with all your friends, you'd all like sleep on the trampolines in summer outside or whatever, and be like, where's my boys? And Simon's like, I think they're in the drunk tank.
Yeah, that was a classic. Yeah.
So like that, those kind of friends when you're younger and going through high school.
Did you guys grow up in Nelson?
Yeah,
I grew up in Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
The Nelson drunk tank. Wouldn't the cop just like take you home? Isn't it that small of a
Yeah,
town?
there's like probably 2 places.
They know who you are, and
We need to teach these boys a lesson.
Yeah. Actually, well, I mean, Nelson's like got more cops per capita. There's RCMP, like there's in so many small towns, and then there's also Nelson City Police, and
they're all looking for something to do.
For
you
30
can't get away with
years.
shit.
No,
like you literally like I've been like had a cop pull up on me in Nelson taking a piss in the snowbank in the alley. I'm like, don't you guys have anything fucking better to do?
No, we don't.
Yeah, yeah. For like 30 years, it was like the main economy was growing weed. So,
but yeah, it's good to have. It's good to have. But Nelson's booming right now. It's just like taking off, and there is a lot of like vagrants and like a lot of like shit going down. So,
you're getting into that. Not quite a city, but large town.
Yeah,
sort of.
It's
vibe.
like
and we're an accepting city, so people are like, well, I'm going to get beat up in Grand Prairie because I'm weird, but Nelson is going to accept me, so I'm going to come there. So it's kind of this snowball effect that's happening, and whatever. I like being in an
it's
open
changing.
community,
Yeah, we never used to like lock our doors or lock our cars or anything. Like, didn't even know where. Like, we had a house for years when we were growing up. We didn't have a key.
Yeah,
like literally, and now it's like the crime's kind of coming up as Nelson's growing and everything's going on. But anyways, that's a whole different story.
To bring it back to
Let's
just how we met.
Let's go back to where we were before.
Yeah, we just Clay and I hit it off in grade 7, and then we loved skiing. Obviously, big passion, making our own ghetto ski movies. Which, if anyone is interested, should somehow find Ymir Dirty Beats on the internet. It might be on Vimeo.
We made a movie before that.
Ymir Dirty Beats.
Oh yeah, that'll give you pretty much answers this whole question.
Is it on Vimeo or YouTube?
Yeah.
It's like on one of my old accounts. It's kind of like hard to find. It's a diamond in the rough.
I'm gonna link it.
If you go to
you gotta link it.
I'm linking it. I'm gonna link it, or I'll embed it onto the website.
It's a legendary movie.
It's no one stops anything. Just trying huge doubles, catching tips. There's not even like, I don't think anyone landed one thing.
No, one snowboarder landed one thing.
It's a bunch of teenagers smashing each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's cool.
Yeah, so
But we made a movie before that. When I was in grade 11, when we were in grade 11, we made Passion, our first ski movie that I shot on VHS. That's like how old we were shooting. And so, yeah, that was good. And we put that out there. And then we kind of did our own things for a while. And right after high school, I went and lived in England for a year, teaching pottery and sports and shit.
Teaching pottery and sports.
Yeah, rugby. Don't have a fucking clue what I was doing.
Renaissance man.
But I'm a pottery guy.
You're like the original Tom Lasso.
Yeah, kind of actually.
You're right.
It was the same thing.
for sure.
It was sick. It was called a gap year. You know, like, and then after that, I took even a larger gap.
So so tangent corn maze.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you about these corn mazes. Whenever I have like conversations in real life, I know a point I'm trying to get to, but along the way, there's several other points that I have to explain in order to finish my point to make it a full full rounded conversation. But each one of those independent points has 2 or 3 other little points. So I call it like I go off on the corn maze.
We're lost on the corn maze right now.
And I go and I'll go right back. There's one guy listening to this that right now is going to piss himself laughing. So I'll go off on that, but I want to go off on this like pottery rugby thing real quick.
Yeah.
Are you a potter?
Yeah, I'm a potter. Yeah. I've always been like with the wheel mostly. So I do like a lot of wheel bowls and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I was like big potter, and then like I even like still go back to the high school and teach pottery once in a while to like bring me in.
Did you learn that from mom or parents or?
No, I learned it in high school. Yeah. I was like huge potter, and I don't have a wheel and a kiln anymore. I just don't have time for it, but I'd love to get back into it. I fucking love pottery.
Fascinating. I don't think I've ever met a potter before.
Yeah.
Are you like no, this is going to kind of bring it back to you guys.
Yeah.
So are you do you have like an artistic hobby yourself?
I'm in a band. I would say music's more my artistic outlet. You need something.
Yeah. So maybe that's kind of one of the reasons why you guys were able to like become good or fast friends, because you kind of match that energy. Maybe you have the same kind of like energy or interest in creative endeavors that obviously are different, but you probably put the same style of energy into say like music or like pottery sort of thing.
Totally.
I think just good friends from grade 7 pretty much.
Yeah. But I mean now with a
chicken or egg kind of thing maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was because we had that same energy, or maybe we developed because we've spent so much time together.
But we now, like, just looking at it from a working perspective, we're different. We come in with different energy, but it's like
balance each other out.
Yeah, we balance each other. It's very complementary. Yeah.
You're the mellow one. You're the
I'm high strung.
Yeah. Okay, so back to what we were doing before. You're like just did some filming. You filmed basically a crash reel.
Oh, the Ymir Dirty Beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was after. Yeah, that was a what?
So you said
but where I was
that
going
was like
with
10 years out of high school.
So we started making these really ghetto videos that everyone should check out because they're primo. It's like they get better like a fine wine. But
also think,
we had a big group of friends. We all like to ski. We were all part of this funny like home ski video process. And Clay and I kept joking around the years going forward, just like we got to get the old team back together. Like how are we going to align our lives where we can get this old team back together and keep the dream alive?
I needed to get the team back together.
And Clay and I were
like
the most.
For years, I'm always like, we gotta get the team back together.
And the two of you were the team, or is
no, the team was like probably
all the boys and stuff that we grew up like.
Which is like the SeaDawgs, which we'll get into in a minute. But we wanted to get the old team back together. We all worked regular other jobs. Like Clay and I both fire fought, and we numerous different jobs actually trying to survive and make a living. And the rest of our friends went off to become physios and doctors and stuff. But Clay and I actually were like, fuck this, let's get the old team back together. So we started harnessing our energy towards, making this CK9 dream happen.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
So all right, let's get to the origin story of the name. And like you said, you're kind of growing up. You could probably do a series. Where you get into this kind of stuff. So
there's too many stories to touch on.
So like you get back from England and you guys you said you lived in Whistler for a little while as well?
Yeah, 2005, yeah.
And then is getting the band back together after you
after.
That's like getting it back together.
We finally got the band back together 3 years ago.
Yeah, so pretty much. We were both working for Sherpa. Sherpas Cinema.
Okay.
And Clay went to film school and actually started to
that was about 10, 12 years ago. But that was like, all that shit's pretty much irrelevant now. It's like on tapes and VHS when I was doing film school.
But you learn the basics.
Oh yeah, you get a bit of get the basics.
Right, you helped me out with my stuff that I see. That's the kind of stuff I would have learned if I went to film school. Yet I just rely on my guests to set up my camera for me.
Online. You could learn everything online now. Anything you want to learn.
So you kind of did you're obviously
we
always friends,
split after high school.
But you did your own. You're still buds, but you on your own path in life.
But then we were kind of in the same path of life because we both fought for 10 years for the government for forest firefighting.
Are you guys in the same crew?
No. Different, but we're always on like the same fires and that kind of stuff. And then I actually started doing a bunch of films for the Ministry of Forest, like trying to do because I love doing film so much. And I was always like, and I really wanted to shoot firefighting. Like every time I was firefighting, I'm like crew leading, but I'm also like snapping photos because it's like the most cinematic, most beautiful shit you could ever see.
It's like there's just so much energy and color and light
and like people's emotions, and when like the shit's blowing up and fires are fucking off, everyone's like panic, like it's such grit real.
And no one gets a backstage pass.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why there isn't like cinematic, gorgeous stuff, and we're working on it.
So then I was doing films with Simon. Actually, you're actually acting in some.
Yeah,
he's great in front of the lens. Actually, I put him in front of the lens for years.
I was gonna say you did look familiar when I saw you. I'm like, I've seen this guy's face.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. Put a camera in his face. He loves it.
I look like.
So I started doing more of that, and then I don't know how to go too far into the story, but
we're on a corn maze.
Okay, we're corn mazing around, and so then we're firefighting and logging. Oh, I was logging. You were going to school, and then pretty much I was logging one winter with my old man. I come from a logging background from it's kind of a Salmo history or whatever. It's kind of where I learned all my hard work skills pretty much.
Interior BC small town living, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right. A lot of forestry jobs. Stuff.
Totally.
And I just wanted to do. I was like, fuck, I gotta do some film. I gotta film. And then I ended up calling up the Sherpas Cinema, Eric Crossland, because I knew him from Nelson. I like skied with him a bunch.
Right.
Like, hey man, really want to like give us a go. So then I called him up. He's like, yeah, hired me, and the rest is history, pretty much.
And you just worked for them. And then how did you get involved with that?
Yeah, I mean, I went a different route.
So just for people listening, so you can get the voices. This is Simon.
Hello.
And then Clay was just talking, and now the sultry voice is Simon.
Yeah, we can preface it. So I went back to school. I got a degree. I was working at this high-end like celebrity retreat, pretty much, where we'd have like Stifler's mom and Better Call Saul and people come in. It's like this bougie kind of health fitness retreat outside of Nelson in the summers, and then in the winter I just got picked up with Sherpas Cinema. Started working
through Clay.
I knew Eric. I have enough mountain skills that they hired me on the first job for like a rigging thing with Jeep. With like, Sean Pettit and Parker White and some people up at Retallick dragging these Jeeps up. The whole premise was Jeeps, like it's going up and going down. So there was like some Jeeps going down the mountain with some people riding, and then some Jeeps going up, and then like this, break against gravity skiers going up, where I'd have them harnessed up to different trees, back to my snowmobile. Super sketchy. It was like turned out to be a horrible commercial because of the song choice. Whatever.
Like the shitty rigs for sure.
Oh man, it was hilarious. But
like pulling skiers uphill as a snowmobile comes down with like a pulley, like through the POW, actually like through the forest POW, like the chance of death, it's super high. Like if something happens, happens with your harness, and it doesn't really,
or you fall and you get dragged into
exactly. Or you hit a tree,
not hearing you, like your radio's dead. There's
and then the director's like, come on, you didn't do it, but you're like,
it was a high risk rigging job. And anyway, we pulled that one off, and then I just started making my winters available for Sherpas Cinema stuff. Worked on Tom Wallish Imagination. That was hard. It's gonna be hard to beat that one.
That was the one with Tatum, right?
Tatum's in it. Yeah, Tatum and Nick was in it briefly. But shot in Nelson. Great crew. 16 days of grinding. It's gonna be hard to beat that one.
That was a fucking battle. That film.
Yeah,
but it turned out
so good.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like 16 days of gnarl.
Yeah,
it was fucking well worth it, obviously. But
it's funny because you watch something like that, you're like, it just looks so effortless.
I know.
And simple.
There is a BTS cut of it. It's like 10 minutes long. It's worth a watch too. It just gives you like the scene of what, you know, we had traffic control. We had to have like cops, and the whole city of Nelson had to buy in. It was a mission.
Good thing there's a lot of cops there to help out, right?
Exactly.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So, then we had my truck with like a big crane out of the back of it, and then like the Moby on there with the red on there, focus pullers, like the whole system. And we're just like cruising around Nelson with like this big, like, I don't know, it's like a 20-foot crane coming out of the back with me operating it in the back, like strapped in with like a shitty like ratchet strap, just like hope this thing.
So definitely working with the Sherpas was like a good learning experience, right?
Sure,
those guys are the best of the best for
Aren't
a reason. They're so good.
They're great.
And they're
awesome
solid
people.
human beings.
They're solid humans, all of them. And yeah, so we lucked out. We got like a major leg up, and then we were working together again. We were like, holy fuck, maybe we should get the team back together here.
Yeah. So you're working at Sherpas at the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I'm seasonal. Clay's like 3-4 years in, and
this is the moment where you're like, and it's funny with any real good film production company, and you get guys that start to get really good, they're almost always going to go off and do their own thing.
It is,
right?
and we're dealing with that now. We got 2 employees who are going to be doing their own thing for sure. And I mean, we did it.
We respect it.
Sherpas did it. You know, everyone does it, and you know, you just like keep the relationship strong. I think it's like all about being more, you know, collaboration, less competition. That's the kind of vibe you want to have, because you're like pitching global markets, so you don't need to think like, oh, there's 18 film companies in Whistler, like, you know, they all suck. Like, let's work together and try to get stuff going.
That's kind of what the podcast world is like too. It's like, well, people are going to listen to what they want to listen to, and it's free, so they're not you're not competing for customer dollars.
Yeah.
But you are maybe for ad dollars a little bit, but not even. Like, it's different from, I think, like the magazine world.
It depends what the metrics are. If like views are the metrics for success, but still,
I think the more the better.
World.
The cream's going to rise to the top.
Exactly.
If you're good at what you do, it's going to be good, and if you're shit, then you're going to find you're going to end up in your little zone, right?
Yeah, and it's
Nelson's
8.5 billion
like
people in the world, so
Nelson has more filmmakers like per capita than I think probably anywhere.
Nelson does
per capita, like how like the population, how many filmmakers are there?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So my street, I'm like just on my street. There's so there's me, CK9 Studios. There's Eric Crossland from Sherpa. There's
what's your neighbor?
Aaron from Free Ride. Then there's
Mike Parento.
Mike Parento lives just above me.
He's working for Step right now.
Step Studios. Then there's another. The guy who Nick Wagner is moving in, I heard.
Oh, really?
Down the street. So that's just on one street.
And those are like high names.
We're talking
too.
Cinematographer row here.
It's do you guys like so working at restaurants for years? There'd be days where we'd be like, oh shit, we're out of napkins, and we'd go across the street to the other restaurant. Be like, hey, we need this like rigging, or we need this light, or something like that.
Red cameras are more expensive than napkins, but it's totally about.
I didn't say red.
Yeah, no, it's all about it. Yeah. Because it's hard to rent gear. If you're shooting in Nelson, you'd have to rent good stuff if you didn't have it
from
in
like
house. Calgary, Vancouver, and shipping and turnaround. It's like so much nicer if we can just keep a collective. We got to work on it.
Yeah, we got pretty good
going a bit more. But
like a co-op
spreadsheet
list.
Yeah,
and it comes around, goes around. You like lend out gear, and buddy's like, "Oh, what do you want for it?" He's like, whatever.
Comes around,
goes around. Like
comes around is all around.
I'll be calling you soon here.
Okay, so. Sherpas, you're like one day. Was there a moment when you, or was it just like a slow process? Like, hey, we're out of here. No, or was there a moment where you're like,
it was more like
fucking Mossip, screw that guy. Let's do our own.
No, there wasn't.
He's too handsome.
There wasn't any bad. There was no bad blood at all.
No. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to like.
What's the next step? Yeah. How do we start seeking out?
I'm just trying to create an issue so I can like sensationalize it and promote my show. Right.
You want to get some drama out of us?
It'll be the title is be like CK9.
Hold your tongue, Clay. Hold
the true story of CK9's beef with Sherpas Cinema. That'll be like the title of the podcast.
Well, I've thought about that, like just because there's so many crews in Nelson, like having kind of a Gangs of New York feel, or maybe more like
Anchorman,
Anchorman, and all of us just coming in like full Anchorman spoof, just people coming, different drones whizzing at you, just people whipping hilarious gear, like
mic cables and like
tripod stabs and stuff.
Everyone's super tired and out of shape,
exhausted.
There's like a smoke break,
with a bunch of angry wives just booing you the whole time.
We hate your profession. Why are you not home more?
You got a bunch of guys like battling in the editing cave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Just bent over,
the strongest fingers though, just like coming at each other. We're changing our
powerhouse guys with the Moby guys in front with the strong grips like this
for
coming at you.
We're changing our slowly changing our name from the SeaDawgs to the ScreenDawgs, because the SeaDawgs was all about this early 20s travel surf lifestyle that our friends, you know, we like had a crew that drove down to Mexico on a Bronco down there we'd go get, and we yearly annual trips to go surf and find waves. And then, you know, up from that sprung this hilarious crew called the SeaDawgs, which was like,
as in like
it was
ocean,
more of a
sea?
as in ocean, sea, and then dogs, DAWGS, like
SeaDawgs.
SeaDawgs. So it was just a joke that our wives and girlfriends at the time hated. That perpetuated.
You guys are so corny. Why do you call
perpetuated?
yourselves that?
Yeah. But do you see the connection between SeaDawgs and CK9?
No.
No? Okay, it's just a classy way of writing SeaDawgs. So it's C and then K9, like dog. Yeah, there you go. So we can stay professional, still pitch people like Arcteryx, but hold it down with the roots.
Yeah. You can make like a cool logo. And it's
exactly.
Like kind of cutting edge and hip.
Everyone I really know still calls us the dogs, pretty much. SeaDawgs.
That's cool.
But then people that don't know, they're like, "Oh, CK9 Studios, you're so professional," and then underneath there's the dirty dogs. Still living in kennels, still scraping her by.
Exactly. Still trying to surf, but God,
we
couple
barely
kids.
got out there. Like, we used to surf a lot, tons. Like, that was like our passion, other than like skiing all the time. We'd go on like mega surf trips and stuff. But now we finally got out with Tatum. Last time we were in Victoria there or whatever, and it was like, we were like, oh shit, when was the last time we surfed? Like 2.5 years ago. We got out for like one session, for like an afternoon session out by on the island or whatever, and we're like, oh Tatum, how much do you got to surf? She's like, this is like my 60th day or something like that.
Yeah, so
like just so much surf trips, and me and Simon were just like,
the dream's done.
We're
trying to work too hard.
She also doesn't have children either, because you guys both have kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, next time we'll surf probably 3 years. Well, next time we'll be in the water, it might be 3 years, because you just get fucking slammed.
So
we need to get back.
You just got to get work on the coast.
I know.
Yeah.
And then
we're pitching the job right now.
Get your family out here for considerable, like, just rent a place.
Yeah.
And then just
totally make it happen.
Yeah.
Temporarily base yourself here while you're working, and then it makes you know what you're doing, man. That's
need
the one
to get
thing
in the water
the one thing about everybody in this industry is we know how to like work it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
We're pretty.
I mean,
good.
look at this palace we're in. You're obviously a master of being a working whistler.
That
for
being
sure.
said, it was like
Low Pressure Podcast Studios with all the garbage behind the cameras over here.
No, don't believe it. None of the fine china.
Like I was telling you before, man, I feel a little embarrassed, but now that I'm talking to you guys that understand it just as much.
Oh yeah,
like, we're right in the middle of dealing with IF3 shit, and like
for sure. Yeah, this is crazy.
We had to step over stuff, and this is a new setup, as
it's
you guys
sick
can
setup.
see.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It could use a lady's touch.
Okay, we'll finish this.
Most things could.
Hopefully, any ladies listening out there, just come on over if you want to give it some feng shui.
Come over for a podcast.
Yeah, come over for a podcast.
And a pint.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll finish this story off here. So
we'll
tell you how we actually got there.
Back to the dogs.
Are we in the dog?
Yeah, no, we're
dirty.
We're working for Sherpa. We've got a job lined up that I'm going to produce and Clay's going to direct for Sammy Carlson, which ended up being overtime. It fell through on the Sherpa end. They had so much on their plate with La Liste and a bunch of stuff that
they didn't want to take it on.
Yeah, they didn't want to take it on, but we had already gone through the process of getting the funds and lining it all up, and Sammy was ready to go. So it's going to be a bit of a rug pull. And it was kind of
I was going to direct it. Yeah. And Sammy kept hitting me up, going, "Come together," and then I was like talking to Eric about it. I was like, should I do this? Like, what do you think? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, we don't want to lose you. But he's like, yeah, if you want to like go do this, like, go do it and do it right. Like, put your all into it. And I was super.
Blessings from the dawn.
Yeah, I was like, should I stay with Sherpas or should I go do my own thing? I was like, losing sleep over it and stuff. And then finally I was just like, at some point you got to just like,
and it helps when
go
you got
all in.
It helps when you got the support of someone like that too, right? Like, if they're going to be upset to lose you, but if they're not bitter and they're actually like, hey, go for it.
Yeah,
that makes it so much easier. And you don't, because that's I think a lot of the issue with me when I do stuff like that is like the loyalty I have towards people that have done right to me. I don't want to like
that's the hardest
burn
part,
bridges. I don't want to screw them over.
Yeah.
But when you have that. Go out into the world, young one.
Yeah. Go do your thing. See how it goes. And it went pretty well, I think. But I ended up just leaving and saying, I'm going balls deep. I'm going to go do it.
So that was the first official CK9 project.
Totally.
Yeah. Overtime.
Yeah. I mean, and what a great like opportunity. We knocked out the park with
man.
it. We had
Sammy
like Sammy,
Carlson.
one of the best of all time. Probably styliest skier of all time.
All time.
Of all time. He
Yeah.
doesn't get better than that for style. And yeah, we just put our life savings towards it, hammered it out.
Were you married at that point yet?
Yeah, I was married. Yeah, no
So
kids yet.
How did that go over with the life savings thing?
I had a kid. We both have houses. We thank God we just grounded out our whole lives, and we had enough that we were like set
pretty good
enough,
net,
you know.
It wasn't that much of a risk.
No, I mean our wife. My wife was like,
pretty big
"Okay, I'll give
profession
you
change.
2 years, and if you can't make it work, then you're gonna find the smallest cubicle you can in a government position where you got benefits and time off and stuff." I was like, "I love you, honey. Thank you.
Did she actually say
give me
that?
2 years." Yeah,
It wasn't like you got to go back to firefighting.
No,
or
no.
something?
She was like, "I want you in the teeniest cubicle, no window, making money, benefits," and I was just like, "Okay, 2 years, here we go."
Yeah.
And and it was really our one shot. Like you know,
it flopped, we
baseball
probably
you get
would've
3
been
strikes. This we had 1 strike.
Yeah.
We were
I would have
so
been back to logging by now
Yeah.
for sure.
we had 1 strike. It was a fucking good pitch, and honestly, that's going to be a timeless video. It well received. We won best cinematography on it and a bunch of
And your
awards.
first award, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That was
We
huge.
got
So
3 best cinematographies.
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
actually.
we
Oh, not to brag or
Not
anything.
that
Yeah.
bad. It's a hat trick.
yeah,
Very
it was
stoked on
great.
that.
For that film?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
different festivals?
Snow Vision, IF3, and Powder Awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Powder Awards were dope.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did
It was
you
in
go-
Aspen the first time.
Just going down there?
And then me and Simon dressed up as Dumb and Dumber and went down. And
Was
no
that
one
you
had,
guys?
and
That's
no one
maybe
had-
why I recognize
Yeah,
you
no
yeah.
one
guys.
had a fucking clue who we were. That was the
Yeah.
best part. They
Oh,
were
I didn't know
'cause
anyone.
CK9 was so young. It was our first film.
Who are these guys?
Who
Yeah.
the hell are these guys that we show up just like Simon literally cut my hair like I flopped it down. He just sliced it right across.
Full on Lord
commitment.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sharpie
wow.
the pen,
Sharpie,
or
the tooth and everything. Like
Oh
got
my-
the full
Yeah.
suits.
Oh my god. I remember that vividly seeing
Were you
that.
down there?
No, but
No.
I remember seeing all the
Yeah, yeah.
footage and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
photos and I'd be like, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty classic. We
Because
just
it was the
went
first
with
time it was in Aspen too.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're like, me and Simon were like getting it already. We're like, there's got to be someone else dumb enough to do this.
yeah.
Like,
I was
there's just
we
gonna
were
be
like
2 Dumb and
scared
Dumbers.
walking in. Like there's going to be like 5 Dumb and Dumbers.
Where'd
How
you
could
find
not?
the suits?
China.
Yeah,
Yeah, we ordered, and the best was like, obviously, I'm Harry, Clay's Lloyd,
Yeah.
hair color, whatever. Like, and we order them, but they mess up the order so that Clay's
size is your
bigger
size,
than me.
yes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm in this baggy XXL, and
almost funnier.
Clay's in a medium or something.
Super tight.
It was way funnier.
yeah.
And and then we collect the award, we sword fight, we do a little speech, whatever. People are just like, these guys are ridiculous. And then there's this great progression of photos that I end up seeing through the night of like us at the beginning, we're handing out cards and chatting. We look pretty good. And by the end, we're just like sitting on a cardboard box in an alley in the back of Aspen somewhere, just with a 2-6, like just looking like, hey,
With your award in your hand.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
But then we went over to Marky's place. Over to Mark McGuire's place, and that's the first time we ever met him. We actually barely even knew who he was.
Oh, I had no clue.
We really don't know how many people it is for some reason. And we're like, yo, Mark, what's going on?
Yeah.
He
He's like, who the
McMorris
fuck
lives-
is
No, he had a
this guy?
hotel there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we were just like, who the hell's Mark McMorris?
Every single person in that place wanted to party with you guys that night.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. It was
absolutely.
we were the elite. Any after party was open for
Yeah.
us, for sure.
What
But
a
then we
way-
partied with Mark for a bit. Now we're still good friends. Yeah, we're still chatting.
What a
He's
way
fucking
to
hilarious.
announce your arrival.
I
right?
know.
Like
Yeah.
let's kill it on our first
Well,
movie. Show up to the biggest award show in the industry and like absolutely own the night.
Totally.
Yeah, it was good.
And kudos to the early like ski joking pioneers, like the legends that
Shane
we grew up
McConkey
in
and
the
shit.
yeah we grew up
Yeah.
in the like the ski movie 1-2 era. I think that was the last ski movie I saw.
Right.
Ski movie 2, and like
Don't do shit.
I get shit done. I ski around the world, but the West Coast is where I'm from. Where I'm from.
I've done a 360
Exactly.
and I'm trying. No,
We're probably
trying to
similar
double back.
age.
Yeah.
We know the era. Yeah,
44. That shit's yeah.
like
It's
Brad
gotta
Holmes,
come back.
for the kids listening, that's Brad Holmes
For sure.
rapping on top
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
classic car. Ski Movie 2.
oh yeah, ski
Yeah.
movie 2, legendary,
Yeah.
with like an American
I've
suit
tried
on
a
or something.
360. No, I've done a 360 and I've tried a double back.
Something about jumping a train
Yeah,
too.
excuse
Yeah.
me while I'm gapping this train.
And he talks about Screaming Seaman. He
Oh,
does a
man.
good Screaming Seaman too.
He was legit. Those spike tips were so like
Screaming Seaman is the most underrated trick in skiing. People need to
It
draw
is.
more Screaming Seamans.
yeah, and Screaming Seaman's into stuff like
It's
Screaming
sick.
Seaman cork something that would be amazing.
A
So, yeah.
720,
Clay-
rodeo cork
720.
7.
Clay and I
Screaming Seaman.
we're dating ourselves, but like honestly, we're like even Sammy like, oh, should I do this like cab 5 something or other? And Clay and I are like, show us where you're going off and where you're going to land, I guess. Like, I don't even know what a trick is.
I have no clue. Yes.
So, yeah.
Just show me where you're going to take off and where you're going to land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
how
it.
high up you're going to
Exactly.
go.
We'll try to capture it. But yes, please do that.
Yeah, so anyways, Aspen was a blast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of you guys coming
That
on,
is.
on
That's
the
like,
scene.
yeah.
And then
You came out
work
swinging.
probably just exploded.
Well, you get so close to a project, you never know if it's good. And even
Yeah.
over time, like, we put our heart and soul into it, but it's like, is this good? You kind of, by the end, you have no clue. You're just too close to it. So to get kind of that feedback and to put it out to the world and get all those, like, the YouTube responses on that thing are like some of the best I've ever seen. There's nothing negative. It's just,
banger.
so that was good. And, you know, it was a
battle.
confident
That
booster.
thing,
It was a good for the resume.
How long we filmed? We filmed like 4 months. We solely just filmed overtime, I think, that year, wasn't it?
4 months into
4 months, and then like literally like 4, 6, 5 months editing straight. Just
What year
just
was that?
tweaking.
There was like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago.
Probably
Yeah.
4 years ago,
Yeah.
3 years ago. Yeah. 4
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
So that was your first year, first project.
Yeah.
And now, like you said, you got a couple employees.
Yeah.
Now, are you still on the one project a year
No,
sort of
no.
thing?
We had 2 drop this year, so we've got one for Sam Kuch, 7-minute banger that he already won best skier of the year for at High Five. That would have been easy. You could have filmed that with an iPhone. He still would have won. But no, it's like there's so much work getting to those zones, and there's
And you got
so
Tatum.
much.
Tatum
We
as
got,
well.
and then we got Tatum's project, which is a
Passage.
2-year, and that's our big project that we're
Yeah.
releasing.
Is that the one that's
Passage?
Yeah.
It's happening tonight.
So you guys are basically working with the two, like the best male skier on the planet and the best female skier on the
she's
planet.
also up for best female skier. So yeah, we're lucky.
You guys
We're
are
lucky
up for a
crew.
bunch of awards tonight. So tonight,
We are.
this weekend is I have 3 movie awards. That's why you guys are in town.
Yeah.
And you guys have 3 nominations, if I'm not mistaken, for
so.
Tatum's
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, totally. Best editing, best short, best storytelling.
Kuch's movie too.
And then Kuch
Kuch-
and Tatum are both up for best female and best male athlete. So
I would call that 5.
Yeah. We're pretty much
Should be a good show.
It was just enough of an excuse that the wives let us come and stay. That was nice.
Baby, this is gonna be so good for our business and our lives. Right?
They're like, fuck, I
We're
want
doing
you in
a
that
lot of
cubicle.
networking.
I'm gonna be able to have an office and put some other guy whose dreams wasn't met into a cubicle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Elevate his life.
Yeah, you got to dream big.
Nothing motivates you like a cubicle.
Yeah.
Right? So fast forward, like you said, you got these movies coming out. So let's talk about like this last season.
Yeah.
And maybe
Okay.
like some of the process of the movies and kind of how it came together, or some of the days, like you were working, because they're both Arcteryx athletes.
Yeah.
And was it basically how did that come together? Did Arcteryx come to you, or had you just been were they just searching for somebody? How did that work?
Well, it's funny.
Both
It's like
athletes choose you,
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
like the backdoor way to work with brands is to
Nelson Kuch, yeah.
Nelson Kuch. So and we knew Kuch, and we filmed his segment.
Well, we
or
watched
the
him
majority
grow up
of it.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I could remember seeing him under the chair that when I was younger. Just
And you're like,
saying things
mental note, that kid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But we filmed a lot of his segment for MSP the year prior, so we already had the
Is
working
that already
relationship
won
with him.
for the one male skier of the year?
I think no.
He came down with us to Aspen
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was the year before that he had won male skier of the year. Yeah,
because there wasn't any awards after that because it was COVID. The whole thing, everything was.
IF3 had
down.
something, I guess.
I have
last year,
3.
but
I think for I3 we gave him breakout skier of the year. We actually, I'll tell the story. He's going to come on later this week.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we actually told the story. So we were in Montreal, and Schmuck calls him up, and he's like, "Hey, Kuch." He's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "We want to get you out to. I think you're going to win an award, or we need you out here for this award. We want to get you out here." And the first thing he says is like, "Okay, cool. When does the plane leave?"
yeah,
And then Jeff starts cracking up. He's like, the IF3 plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe talk to Ymir and,
yeah.
and see
That's
if you can
great.
get your... But it's just, I love the guy because he's just so humble and like...
But he's so open
Innocent.
to it too. Like
Yeah.
that's his attitude. Like, well, okay. Like, you
here
know,
it goes.
it's like, oh, do you want to ski this herring line and do some crazy thing?
Sure,
Here goes.
Okay, here we go.
And so this year,
Okay.
this year his video we named it "Here Goes" because
Yeah.
the audio
Before he
from
drops in.
every drop in, if you listen to his GoPro or whatever, it's like every time it's like, okay, Sam, camera's 100. Okay, here goes. And
So
that's it.
calm,
Like 3,
so
2, 1, here
collected.
goes. Like that
It's
every
not like,
time.
It's not like drop-in or...
No, it's here goes if he's doing like the mellowest
Yeah.
follow cam or dropping into the biggest line of his life.
And he's such
Okay, here
he's
goes.
such a fucking ledge that like you're like normally like a lot of times like, filming in the backcountry it's sketchy as fuck. Like you're
Yeah.
so deep out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're usually like 3 drainages back
On sleds.
If someone gets injured, like your probability of dying is extremely high. Because if it's socked in, you can't get a heli in, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You're always like, as a filmmaker and as like a business, we're always like, holy fuck, like this is like, you know, you're like, it's sketchy, you have to have your shit tight. But like when you're at the bottom and you're watching Sam up there, you're like, our confidence in him is so high. I'm just like I've like usually like no doubt in my mind, like he's gonna be fine. And his like in the way that he portrays himself as a skier, and when he's out there, he's just like, okay, here goes, and just
versus launches. Like some zones and some people, some
people, you're like, oh, you feel scared for him. You're
or
like
situations, we'll say, because like everybody's.
I don't
different.
know if they're ready for this.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't know if they can handle the line they're standing on. But with like Kuch, he's like, yeah, he's gonna fucking nail it, and he usually does. And
almost every time I saw him bail twice in the winter this past year, like really, like
and one of those times was because he tripped on a step walking into the restaurant.
I tripped him because I was so jealous. The guy is
it's been
a legend,
really good working
sure.
with him for sure.
Yeah, and we were lucky. Like it was kind of a last minute thing. We just secured, some funding and to do the video like February 27th, I think, last year. So all of that was just filmed from like late February till April 1st or something. That was Sam's video that he already won best skier on at 5.
Wow, that's crazy. Because we had Nick McNutt. I put out his episode today, and he was talking about filming and stuff, and like we were talking about BC and like where he want to go and the timing and stuff right now. And he's like, March used to be guaranteed game on, but now with how things are changing, it may not even be. So he's like, and he's like, if you don't have your shit sorted, if you don't have a decent like
segment
or even like a bunch of stuff in the bank by like mid-February, like you could be SOL, I know
it's high stress and the weather juggling and stuff, but we'll like that was Sam's. It was short and sweet. I we're looking forward to doing something again with him and Cole next year. But Tatum's is our bigger project this year. It's like a 2-year. She called me up.
She called late. It was like March.
No, she got a hold of us like 2 years ago. The day I just had my second kid, January 10th, and was like, "Hey, it's me, Tatum Monod. We met on the Tom Walsh Imagination. I'm looking to do a video. I loved Overtime. Remember you guys? Do you want to do something together?" And so Clay and I took that on, and so we kind of just got started. By the time we were organized, because that was January 10th, and we started rolling on it, it was like March. And then we got 2 trips in, and COVID gave us the hard smackdown. We were on our second trip, and then all of a sudden it was like rug pull. Like all the big brands were like, okay, we're freezing this. If not like canceling this thing. No one knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It could be a zombie apocalypse. Everyone hunker down.
Hunker down. Listen to the news.
So
boom, shut down.
It was a blessing in disguise for us in this video, because we didn't have enough of the bank yet. We wanted to do the best possible project with her. It's like a history piece about her life and her lineage. So it's not something we wanted to like take lightly and rush. It's not a personal ski
porn movie.
It's a story. It's a personal, emotional piece for her. So we want to do the best thing we could. Luckily, we got an opportunity. We sent a little cutout to all of her partners that fall, reacquired funding. They were like, "This is amazing. Let's do it." So we had this past season to hit it again with Tatum. Unfortunately, we had another roadblock with her, and she hit her head. It was poor girl. She's been set back from injuries as part of the story. We were like on our second or third trip with her.
I think it was the third trip. We filmed her early in the season here in Pemby, and then
might have been second trip.
It might have been second trip. And then she came, and then she got
So anyway, she hit one of the bigger cliffs she's hit. The tranny wasn't perfect, and I'll take a little bit of blame for that, because in the Kootenays, if you look at Ymir Dirty Beats, you can tell we don't have much of a fondness to trannies. We just, and I mean transitions, but
you're a big fan of the uphill.
Well, we just didn't give a shit. We just huck hard, and so I looked at the slope, and the cliff was right, the light was right, big pow day. Kuch was with us. We were on, and I was kind of like, that looks like a pretty good transition from here. Go for it. It wasn't steep enough for her liking. Whatever. It's always 1,000 factors, but she came in, she stomped it hard, she went and needs to goggles, and she still is like slightly scarred and kind of, it was a hard impact. Like concussions go, there's no prescription. Everyone has them different timing, slightly delayed symptoms, and then it's something that's lingered with her since. So
I remember running into her at the top of Spanky's one day, and I think it was like her first day back on skis, and she's like, oh man, like I had smashed my head and this and that and the other, and I'm like, just checking in every once in a while. I'll chat with her and see how she's doing, and just whenever we cross paths or I've talked to her bits and pieces, and she's like, yeah, it's coming along, it's not great, I've had this and that, but like being able to see how the response is for that movie, and like so for the awards ceremony this weekend, like it's her birthday weekend, right? She's gonna be on the island, and we're like, hey, you're gonna be around for right? Yeah. Then we're like, no, I'm going to the island with all my girlfriends. It's my 30. We rented a place, and I'm like, well, we're doing full IF3 in Whistler this year, and then we were like, well, you've got like a lot of nominations. She's like, this isn't like Powder Awards where like they get you to fly down there and you get like 18th place for for whatever. I'm like, no. I was like, maybe talk to Schmuck, but like you're like you get like 4 nominations. I'm like, it's probably good for you to come.
Those are odds.
So she and like specific and like it's in her hometown.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
She went through all of that, like all that animosity and not animosity is the wrong word. All the hardships and the struggles and the my brain's mush, so I can't find the right synonym at the moment. Yeah. Cinnamon. Yeah. I can't find the right cinnamon at the moment. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, this is important. Like, it's almost like how I perceive it would be like, you know what? This is kind of that moment that it all pays off. All that hard work, all that struggle, all of that health stuff. It just great. And I get to party in Whistler with all my friends.
It's like we're at the finish line.
You got to celebrate sometimes.
Because
we have a hard time doing that.
So she's coming, which I'm stoked. We convinced her. She's bringing her whole crew back from
Saturday night's going to be a great night.
It's going to be a Saturday.
Regardless whether we win or not or whatever. It's just nice to be with the community again.
Yeah. Right.
Because I haven't done that since Ski Movie 2, and so it's like, nice to meet people.
Yeah, we're glad we're here. We miss a lot of festivals and shows because we're so busy too. Yeah. There's so much going on. Even me and Simon here, Tatum's gone. We're just working from our laptops here all day, pretty much. There's so many different loose ends.
Do you know what's kind of nice though?
Projects trying to get it going.
It might be kind of nice. I find when I'm in a spot that isn't my house.
Yeah.
Like with all the garbage and shit that's going on behind the scenes right here, is that you're like, I'm in a place where I don't know what's in the fridge.
Yeah,
my kid isn't here. My wife isn't here. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go and I don't have to go do that thing in the change that light bulb in the garage. Like, there's no distractions. It's
you can focus.
All I can do right now is work. So it's like you got this week where you got a place up in Pemby, which is going to be pretty quiet, and then you can just do some work.
For sure,
totally
juggling, partying and work and whatever. That's it.
That's pretty standard life.
But we're so busy right now. It's great, and I love the ski industry, but we're also trying to juggle year-round work and keep a successful business.
Because that's the next step for you guys,
We have 6 projects on the go right now, and one of them is a ski movie because we finished Sam's pretty much. So
I was talking to the Sherpas about that too, when I had Dave Mossip and Leo on years ago. Yeah. And most of these film companies, you start out because you love skiing, you want to make ski movies, and then you realize ski industry has any fucking money.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but this car commercial is going to put up $100,000 for us to film this car commercial.
Totally.
All right, I'm down for that. So then it's just a matter of
exactly.
And I found that a lot of the film companies and stuff, it's that balance. Even photographers like Blake or someone. It's the balance
what is it with ski movies and what we're doing? It's like it's 100% passion. Like, you can't do what we're doing with Overtime and with Tatum's Passage and with Sam's and expect to
operate a
business and make bank. You're working so many hours and it's all passion. Even going out there every day, leaving early, putting in mega roads. Some of those shots in Kuch's things took us 3 days to get one
we're,
shot.
We're hiring a plane and then cutting roads in for a snowmobile, and then 3 days later we get a pillow line.
One shot.
So the budget for a ski movie like that, right?
Yeah,
would be the budget versus the time.
Yeah,
that goes into that
$7 an hour.
Right, and then you get something like a commercial for shoot.
Sure. Yeah,
which
3 days. Same budget or more,
and
you bang it out.
But it's the
and it's 10 times as much or more, right? You're and it's okay, so this is, and it's a question I always have too is when you start getting that work, is your focus always still, I'm doing this so I can go to the ski thing? Or do you get to that point where like, oh, I can actually, buy something, I can actually take my family on a vacation or whatever, is the focus still?
I think it's a juggle. Like you want to stay in your passion and you're going to do the best work there. And that actually ends up being the lure that catches those big jobs. So you need the big jobs to kind of pay the bills and keep it rolling. But if you're just doing those big jobs, you're not making content that's going to really like wow anyone, for the most part. You're not making.
That's like your demo reel.
Kinda,
it is.
This is, hey, exactly. Do you want to know what we can do?
And like, I'll tell you a good story right now.
It's the editing that really fucks you over. Because like you have so many days out there in the backcountry filming, whatever, however many days you get. But then when the editing comes down and like you're putting something out like Tatum's movie Passage or Kuch's, like those are like your babies, you'll like be grinding it in the office at night till like 4 a.m. The wife's calling you.
You don't have a problem for that.
Can you please get home? But you're like, but like a different kind of job sometimes, like a different commercial job or whatever.
When it's the Kia fucking Sorrento and
you're not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home.
You're gonna go home. You get her done. You get
and you see that as a job, though, right? You know what I mean? Like that's like it's probably a little bit more structured from their end too. Like
so you could do the bare mins for sure. Yeah. Like we could have done Tatum's and Sam's like way easier and way whatever and like actually probably made more money.
Reflected in the quality.
But like these projects, like to me and to Simon, are like they're like we just put our all into them.
Yeah.
And like it's really hard to just let them go. Right. You're just like
I'm not going to put out something half-assed.
I know. You're just like, well,
you're not going to put out something half-assed either when it comes to like a Kia Sorrento. But at the same time, like
you go
different timelines.
They set up the timeline. They set up the schedule. So it's almost like it's easier for you because you just know they give you the parameters you have to work with in. Whereas when it's your own project, there aren't any parameters.
You're making the parameters.
The only parameters are how good do I want to make this and how far am I willing to go in order to get what I want, right?
And you go deep.
A little story just to kind of wrap that like quality versus quantity kind of thing up. And COVID hit, Tatum's project was paused. I was kind of like, okay, I got a mortgage and 2 kids. I need a job. So I dipped back to ministry forest firefighting 2 summers ago. Yeah. Because who knows what COVID was going to do. I was like, I need something that's going to pay for sure. And that's like a vital service. Yeah. I go back to that. Clay does his own thing for the summer. We come back in September. Like the film and ad world is still like kind of holding it tight because no one knows what's going to happen. And we end up getting our first job after I firefought for the summer is this job for my mom's friend doing this Kokanee Salmon. They're like an interior salmon species video for school groups.
Oh, like where they take the kids on school
exactly.
trips
to
so
it's like
to the hatchery.
So they can't do the hatchery thing anymore because it's COVID. So we're doing this low budget ghetto project, and I mean I love the Kokanee salmon. I grew up learning about them from my mom and stuff. So it was kind of a special project. But regardless, we're like this. We're about to go down. The company is not going to make it if we're just scraping these. We're not going to scrape by on these salmon.
The local
projects.
Train museum needs
pretty much. That's where we're at. So we're filming basically a puppet show with a red camera.
Red. Yeah, like top
and Clay and I are just looking at each other like, well, it was nice. Like, have fun logging. I'll go back to something else.
It's like a sock with googly eyes.
Yeah, basically it was.
Yeah,
it was legit a sock with googly. So we're just like we were rock bottom.
What the fuck?
And then I get this phone call and this German guy on their line is like,
they hit us up on their website.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, we represent BMW. We'd like to get you guys to edit 3 years worth of material for a huge chunk of money. Like we're talking 15 salmon videos worth of money.
Wunderbar.
Because we liked overtime so much. Wow. I mean, we're coming straight to you guys because overtime is such a good thing. So putting in all that editing. Time pays off. Yeah. It's like if you got that quality, it was like, we just like wrapped up that salmon video and hopped on for like literally 30 days of a wild ride edit and put out these
edit for BMW. Electrified windsuit. Yeah, it's like that electric jetpack.
You can get online, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna post that.
Yeah,
too.
Post it. It's they built this like jetpack so a guy can wingsuit and fly over mountains.
They needed the edit done in like 30 days or something. And they've been filming it for 3 years, and they're like, you guys can just use the stuff online. We're going to send you the drives, and we're getting like chunks of drives coming from Germany.
14 terabytes worth of footage.
Wow, terabytes.
Yeah.
Were you like their first choice, or were you like ways down the list?
They had a company that did that, like gave such a off first edit. They're like, we can't even give feedback on this. And then what I realized is that they'd used overtime to pitch the whole idea. That was like the editing style they wanted.
Really? So they used overtime to approach other companies?
Yeah, so we saw they're an agency and they work with BMW all the time. So they had pitched this idea to BMW with all these overtime shots, and overtime is the main reference video. And so they were like, well, let's just go straight to the source and see if these...
Right.
It was a ballsy move on their part, because who knows? They had a tight timeline. It was going online, and they'd spent...
Meanwhile, you guys are... Hit the hatchery.
I'm trying to re-glue googly eyes on a sock, and I'm like, okay, hello BMW, yeah, let me check the schedule. Holy fuck. Okay, we'll take it.
Did you take the first offer, or did you say like, no, it's going to be this?
We negotiated a little bit, but we got we got it done.
And then now you have those guys on your team.
Yeah,
on your side. Like you're in their Rolodex at the top of the list.
Exactly,
right?
and that's what it takes. It's like, it's all about who you know in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was huge. So like we've had a couple pulling on the stick in the plane, just barely careening over the peak, but yeah, we haven't crashed yet.
When's the CK9 documentary story coming out?
We need a couple more years of stories.
10 years in, maybe.
Sure. 10 years in.
We should start shooting more BTS.
So we've been thinking about this idea, and you can weigh in on it, and maybe you even have a song choice for it. It's like, we shoot so many different things.
Can help us out on that, trying to get a song choice for us, because we've been struggling for.
I've been waiting for someone to ask me my opinion about music for so long.
Okay, so we shoot so many different things. Like we did a year-long project for Wine BC. We're shooting logging. We're shooting stuff with helicopters. Anyway, we're always shooting these different scenes, commercial work and whatever. Yeah. And we want to take a moment at every shoot that we do, because they're such elaborate sets or different backstage passes, and start lip syncing a song and piece it together over like 2-3 years. So we're like, Clay and I basically have our own music video, and we're just lip syncing like back and forth. But
then we get other people in there.
The original long form TikTok video.
Exactly. The long form TikTok.
But then you're getting like other people in there, like the agency and other like funny randos, and you're like up on like a big peak with like the heli like flying in the background. You're just lip syncing this thing.
Someone's attached to a giant rig on the top of a BMW going, bah!
Exactly.
Singing,
flag flying.
And you kind of just like slow over years.
I got you.
You just put your iPhone on, and you just like say like, oh, like we could do it with you right now. We could put you in the edit. You'd be singing
exactly.
whatever.
And it'd just be a moment in this.
But we've been in this long battle. Like, what song do we use? How should we do
really? Well, okay, we're gonna have some text, because like I said, you're staying at the house. I have free house here this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pick up beer for the place today.
Perfect.
There's the hot tub there.
Oh, nice.
I got the show tonight. I've got a handful of shit to do this afternoon. And then I think I'm going to find some time. I'm going to do an episode with Cole tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
With Cole.
Perfect.
I think he was working for us.
Yeah,
we filmed him for all of his matches,
right?
And then he was like so stoked on the dogs. He was like, "You guys gotta hire me, like get him." Like, should we hire him? Like, yeah.
You hired him?
We hired him for a month.
Yeah,
he curated Sam's footage for the most part. Because
no way.
You know the difference between a 360 and a flat spin. Perfect.
And we don't have a clue.
I don't.
No,
I was thinking that exact thing the other day.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Clay and I are like, okay, he landed. That looks like a good shot. Cole's like, no, it's teasing, right?
Yeah,
let's do this one.
So
Cole was like, it's almost
consultant.
It's genius to have someone who's in the industry to like help curate what the fuck looks good and what doesn't. And
that's another kid
he's so stoked. He's such a beauty.
I've heard so many different things about that guy.
Yeah,
and my opinion of him is developed now to a point where like, this guy sounds like he's a solid kid.
Oh, he's nice.
Like I heard when he first got skiing, I heard maybe a couple things, like maybe he's a little loose in the backcountry and stuff, or like loose in the terms of maybe a little bit too gung ho.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's just so keen. I just want to go and give her.
That's standard. Right? That's standard. Youthful vigor.
Yeah, but that's not a knock on him. It's just like and then everything I've heard from them. Like I've heard anecdotes about him, being concerned about something that is really awesome, and then I heard stories about this, and I'm like, man, this kid is like rock solid.
He's putting it out there. I mean, we can give you a great character testament.
He needs to work on his sled skills, though. He's
19 years old, man. How long? Right?
And he had a 2015 with 7,000 kilometers on it, but
we had to fix every time.
I got a 2012. So don't sled shame us.
We'll get him this year. He'll get him balanced.
But I'm really amped to like sit down and talk to that kid, because he's he was out for He was out for the blank
Yeah.
premiere last week, and I actually get to chat with him a little bit. I'm like, I like this guy, man. I want to kind of get to know him a little better.
So we're basically going to create this deadly 4-pack out of Nelson, and then probably move down here for a little bit in the spring next year with us two and Sam and Cole, and try to bang off like a sick, just an insane.
I'm coming out for that. I'll do. I'm gonna bring my skis, but it'll only be for like some mellow shoulder when it's allowed. Then I'll do some shuttling.
Yeah. We'll make you. We'll press record.
I'll do some shuttling, and we're gonna do a little back behind the scenes podcast stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing about like ski filming and doing what we're doing too is like you only want to like be out there in the backcountry, like people you like trust, and like can like lean on, and that's like a good team, you know. Mm-hmm. That's why it's like so great working with like Kuch and Tatum too. Like there's like such good vibes to be out there with. Like you like if you're out there with someone that's just like doesn't have the right vibe, it doesn't feel right. I think that's really takes it out of it. Like you're out there with like Tatum and Kuch that we filmed this all last year. Like we're having a fucking blast out there.
I honestly think that's the most important key for success.
It is.
Is the vibe and like how everyone gels, because you can have like the most talented skier in the world, you can have the most talented filmmakers in the world, you can have the most talented crew in the world, but if there isn't that like vibe, or you don't mesh with each other, or like you don't really. There's those people that, like, I've known people forever in town, and I'm friendly with them, but we've never really connected on that energy level, right?
Yeah. It's
like there's not like there's just always been something missing. It's like trying to put the opposite side of a puzzle piece in.
Yeah. Just like it's easy, like it is with you right now, or it's not. And
then there's and there's people where you're like, oh, I just met this guy, and like we can shoot the shit for 6 hours, right? This is only gonna be an hour though.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's
Mark's got no shortage of shit to do right now.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good, and it's all part of it. You know what it is.
Yeah.
You get it.
Oh, juggling.
It's busiest week of the year.
You actually juggle, so that's respect.
I do actually juggle. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a video of that one day when I'm running out of shit in the summer.
Exactly.
Be like, hey, I have nothing to post today, so here's me juggling.
Yeah. You need some like Velcro things you can kind of put whatever you're juggling on there. Put like IF3 podcast, SeaDawgs coming over, and just start juggling, and one drops. So
it sounds to me that you should head up the CK9 TikTok channel, because you've got all of these little stories that are like, these are TikTok videos. I don't have TikTok. I don't have time for it, but it sounds like you're a TikTok genius.
Yeah, get on the TikTok.
Oh, I'm a TikTok genius.
Yeah. He's the oldest TikTok.
Who knows? Who knows what kind of like
social media is not our thing. No, we suck at social media. Like me and Simon, we haven't posted on our CK9 Instagram since my last day filming with Tatum in Pemberton, which was like 6 months ago. I'm like, I always tell Simon in the office that today we're gonna post. We're like, today we're gonna post. I never do it because we just suck at it.
Maybe you gotta hire an intern.
We come from
we have interns. They were like, no, we're not doing that.
We should get on it. Like we're in that industry. Like that's kind of our job.
But it's one of those things.
And
like,
we have so much good content.
Like, are you at a stage in your business now where like
I don't think we need
that?
No, maybe we should just get rid of it all.
I think so. I don't even know how to post. So
I hate Instagram.
I wouldn't know how to delete.
That would be a boss move, though. Too is like like just have like the bare minimum.
Yeah, just a website.
Be like but like on social media, have your accounts, but just have like the every 6 month post or something like that.
That's pretty much what we're doing.
So we're on that boss. We're on that boss move.
People are gonna think that's what a subversive, amazing counterculture approach on this. This is cutting edge, but it's just now we're just lazy.
These guys aren't lazy at all.
We got other shit to do.
Yeah, we do. It's
we need someone that knows how to do social media or something. I don't know.
I don't think we do.
Yeah, maybe we should just drop it all.
It doesn't matter. We got more than enough work right now.
Yeah, too much.
All right, so where do people not follow you at?
CK9 Studios, something or other at. I don't know. Yeah.
Or you should just change it all to like SeaDawgs.
Yeah, we should.
Just revert it back
like
to like
Cole does that. He's got like a private-ish one, and
there's a few people with some private ones.
That's classic.
There are some interesting private accounts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you about any of them because I don't want to ruin it.
But give us yours for sure.
There's a couple that I like.
Yeah.
So what's going on for this season moving forward? Like, you're here for IF3 now. You're hopefully.
Well, we just came down here to heli ski for 2 days, so we've already been skiing.
That's right. We spent 2 days. That's right.
Yeah, we've been up on the glaciers.
2 days with Arcteryx.
Yeah.
Sam, Tatum, and Hoji.
Mm-hmm.
And Jill.
Yeah.
She was the other.
And we were saying that. That's right. I forgot about that in the conversation. We were talking about it earlier. Like, that's the best content I've seen. New content I've seen of the season.
In terms of this season, it's like some of the first inversions you've seen.
There's the big fat wind lip in the Alpine and people throwing backies.
Yeah, no, it's like surprisingly decent up there, but only for about 200 meters and then it's dirt.
Scary glaciers though. We're Kokanee boys. We're not used to those big glacier
crevasses and things. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of open crevasses.
Oh yeah, we guided up. We were like probing pretty much everywhere. But yeah, cool. Already skiing. And moving forward, we're gonna be hopefully securing something with Sam and Cole, because they're a sick duo and they're both just really in their prime, and we love getting
master and
cinematography. So like, and we Clay and I are both good sledders, so like the potential is high, and we're all going to base camp out of Nelson. Lots of places to go. Just a BC based maximum shred at it, and then we're still working on what the right plan is with Tatum, but we want to work with her too. She's got a bunch of girlfriends that we might collab and get like a awesome girl.
We got a whole bunch of ideas in the mix. We'll just do a bunch of pitches and see what sticks. And but we love working with her. She's awesome and she likes working with us. So we'll work with her one more year, maybe 2, maybe 3. Who knows?
It's this funny cycle, and I can see how a lot of ski companies just do ski work, because we're still not quite ready to release everything of Tatum. So it's like 48 videos that we're doing for like Red social and Red Bull TV and all these backstory pieces. So it's so much content.
So that's why, because you're already doing all that social shit for someone else. You don't want to do it for yourself. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
It's like the plumber has a leaky toilet or whatever.
Yeah. But the chef's eating McDonald's every night, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, it's such a cyclical thing. We're almost done for the year, and now we've got to start pitching next year and start filming probably in like a month.
Well, so we're already filming. We're filming for Arcteryx.
But like,
but
you're
it's like by the time you edit before your movie's even released already, it's like
So we're a step back. We got to secure some stuff and paper and everything. But in terms of stoke with everyone and the conversations, those are the 2 ways we're going to go this year.
Sick.
And we can't do any more. We'd overextend ourselves, and we don't want to hire
families
it out.
And stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to spend time with your kids.
You got it.
And your wives.
And that's why I'm stoked that Cole and Sam are going to be based on Nelson with us, because then it's like strike while the iron's hot. Usually you look at like, let's go to Micah heli ski for 1 week, and it's cloudy the whole time because you've booked it 6 months out. But we'll be like out whenever it's good.
There's so many lodges and backcountry operations in that.
The Kootenays has so many, it's nuts.
Right. And it's the best when you like have a good working relationship with those like cat operations and stuff, and then you can just bring your sleds,
right? And then you just feed them some footage here and there, and they're like, "Yeah, cool, we love having you here. Thanks for our stuff." Right.
And props to Stellar Heli. They're super kind to us. Ritalik. We're working with in the Baldface office this year. We've got this rad new office that's adjacent to Baldface's main downtown core.
It's this big greasy garage. So hopefully do something with
them.
It's like and then like big greasy garage on the bottom, and then up top is like all office space or whatever. But it looks like kind of like a interesting like New York kind of like industrial kind of zone. So
chains hanging down from the roof and stuff.
We got a big studio downstairs.
Yeah, I've never been.
You should come for a road trip.
I'm down.
Well, especially
it's in the plans.
Cole and Sam and we're all there. You should come.
I am in. I'm gonna be out at Golden a bunch this year, especially for Free Ride World Tour in February. So while I'm out there, maybe I'll just do a little detour.
I know as the crow flies, it's close, but it's a heinous drive around, but it's worth it. Yeah, do come.
Yeah, Whitewater's great.
I'm in.
You can sleep in our office.
I am.
We'll take you out on the sleds. You have a sled, you said?
I do, yeah. It's an older one. It's a 2012 800 163 track. So last year I didn't really drive it much. I didn't drive much the year before. I can get to where I'm going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's kind of where I'm at. So this year...
You passed the water stage where you're just like water on the slope getting sucked down everywhere?
Just kind of just past that. This year is going to be my breakthrough. So I only rode it once last year.
Oh, yeah.
I actually made money on my sled last year, to be honest with you. So Guy Fatale, the photographer.
Yeah.
He bought a sled and was like, "This isn't for me," and he ended up selling it. But every once in a while, he gets his photo job and he needs a snowmobile, so he calls me up and I rent it to him for like $150 a day.
Yes, that's good.
And I'm like, and he's like, "Can I borrow your sled?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, $150.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "Is it for you or are you getting paid for a job?" He's getting paid for a job. I'm like, "All right, it's $150."
Yeah, that's great.
I'm like, and then here's the rules: if something breaks and it's a part,
you buy it.
You buy the part. And then we try and fix it. If not, we get it fixed. If it's something serious, then we have a discussion.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, that's cool."
That's a bit of a black hole at the end there. That's like, I love the fine print.
It's an
old, you never know.
It's an old sled, but if I wasn't
top end,
if I wasn't willing to not have it,
No, it's so good.
I wouldn't have rented it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him use it in the first place. But like, you know, I know who he's with. Like he was going out with the Black Crows crew, like Abma and Henny and like Callum and stuff. I don't think it was Lucy, but it was out here. But anyways, I'm like, well, you're using it to get to the spot.
Yeah.
If there's any issues, they're gonna jump on and get it up the place. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not worried about it.
Oh no, let's make your money.
Yeah.
But bring that tired old horse over to the
it'll
and
come.
we'll show you around.
Yeah, it'll come. So that my goal this year is to get on it and just get a little more comfortable on it again this year. Because now I'm not working at nights anymore. Yeah. This is my only gig.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I can work here at nights and then just go for a quick rip.
Totally.
I like bringing her because she can rip. I let her out of the trailhead.
Yeah.
She runs 4 or 5 kilometers down the road.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sniffs around for 20 minutes while we're getting ready, and then put her in the back of the truck for 6 hours and just chills.
Perfect.
And then same thing on the way back. She fucking goes for a big 5 kilometer run down the logging road, and then she's toast for the day, and I'm happy.
Yeah, that's great.
It's more, I want to go sledding more so I can walk my dog without actually having to walk. The poor man, lazy man dog walk. No, so, you know, it looks like you guys got a full season out. I am definitely taking you up on that invitation.
Dude, we honestly got room for you in the office.
I love it. I'm gonna bust my ass this season and like really increase my sled skills. I'm not gonna come out. I won't, that's one of the things. I'm not gonna go out.
Yeah.
Unless I know. So I remember one of the first times.
We'll get you out even amateur. Don't worry.
One of the first
times.
We go
with Brian Ralph all the time.
One of the first times I went out. Well, not even. I had been going for a while, and I was starting to get a little confidence. We ended up going to Miller's, which is a zone up Pemby.
Yeah.
And I was with my buddy Dom and Ryan Oakton and my buddy Jesse. We ran into Blake and we ran into Abma. We ran into Guillaume Tessier and like the matchstick crew and stuff like this, right? And I kind of there was a point in time where I was struggling a bit. I put my sled kind of in a little tree on like a flat zone, and like they didn't see me, and I dug out of it and went over, and I'm just kind of hanging out. And then I sledded down to the bottom of this pitch, and I just was like, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
So I was kind of embarrassed because I didn't really understand that everybody's been through it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't comfortable enough around those guys to like really eat shit over and over and over and over. So I just kind of like hung out.
It's a tough learning curve.
It's really similar to surfing. Like you got to like put your time in. And
I'm cook of the day for sure.
And get owned. Like you it's like when you begin to surf or when you begin to sled. Yeah. You think it's gonna happen right away. It's not. You got to like put your time in. Get absolutely served. Get absolutely whitewashed. Get like stuck in tree wells, and then slowly it's like okay.
For me, surfing and sledding is a little different. For surfing, I don't know any better.
Yeah.
So like I remember surfing with like Dana Flair and like Mikey Nixon, and we were in Tofino.
Yeah.
And I had like a 9-foot foamy.
Almost the weapon of choice.
And I get pitted on those.
And I paddled out into the surf. I got out into the
past the break.
Past the break. And I don't know which one. I think it was Mike, and he's like, Warner, how the hell did you get out here?
Yeah.
I was like, huh? Like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I just went through
it's
like
a battle.
I just went through full on like the surfing version of bag skate. You know?
Yeah,
what
you
I mean?
did. Like you're pretty much in the octagon.
Smash. Just
you can't duck dive, so all you can do is just take them on the head and just.
Is it a beach break or a point break?
Beach.
Yeah. It was just full on ignorance.
Yeah.
Like this is surfing, right? Yeah. And I was out there like, holy shit! But with sledding, it's the opposite for me. It's like I am so timid and hesitant. Like I don't want to go and push myself on this because it's gonna be bad. Mm-hmm. Where in my mind it's like whatever, it's just water.
Yeah. Well, if you break your board, you break your sled. They're different things. I'll tell you one quick story though, and I wanted to give a shout out to our friend Cam Batton, who was like kind of co-DP on this Tatum video. Clay was kind of filming stuff with Sammy at the time.
DP stands for
Director of Photography. So basically,
just clarifying for the perverts.
So like pretty much co-director on a lot of shots. Shot a bunch of it. Yeah. The first year, we had a good relationship with this guy. We met him on an IMAX shoot, and he's a fucking legend. Amazing cinematographer. Absolute one of Australia's best. But he's from Australia. Yeah. Anyway, we call him up. We're like, okay, we got this job with Tatum. You know, we could hire anyone here, but we want you. You got a great eye. You got good gear. He loved being in the snow, and put like a token year in Whistler, like every Aussie. So we fly him out with like $120,000 worth of gear. We're talking like amazing lenses,
like his own stuff?
Gear, like just a ridiculous complement of gear. I pick him up. He's never snowmobiled in his life. I get him one of Tatum's extra snowmobiles, and we had me, him, Michelle, and Elise and Tatum to Braylorn. So we're like 2-hour sled just to even get there from Pemberton.
Just down over the Hurley.
He's never even sledded. And then we're going out to like the zones that the pros go to, and he's just looking at me like, what the fuck, mate? I'm just like, you got it. Like, I'm getting him unstuck nonstop. But in 3 days, and we had like, you know, he had whatever, split the gear. He had probably 60 grand worth of gear on the back of his sled, and he could roll it down any glacier. It was the most high risk, ridiculous scenario. But by the end, he was like hill climbing like the best of the girls. It was nuts. It was awesome.
Oh,
it was just like pure trial by fire. Probably one of the most stressful shoots I've ever had to do.
Spends the next 2 weeks of his life barely able to move. His body's just done.
He's an absolute legend. Not many people could have pulled that off. So
right on.
Cheers.
We'd really like to shoot with them again.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, boys, this is this time to shut this one down. We'll have to do another one for sure.
Yeah.
Next time we're in town. Or when you come to Nelson, we can do one in the studio.
We can figure something out.
Yeah,
right? Absolutely.
We'll do one with the 4 of us.
Yeah, that could
like
work.
that.
Yeah. A little bullshit session.
But yeah, pleasure for sure. Fun being on here.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thanks for coming.
Really nice
tell people what they should look forward to and what they should look out for, and just do a little shameless plug.
Outro.
That's what you're here for.
Look out for our next films and watch out for the SeaDawgs.
And we might post in the next 6 months, so check out our Instagram too.
Yeah, there might be a post.
CK9 Studios.
All right, so I'll help you out here. So Tatum's movie, which is nominated for a bunch of awards, is called
Passage.
Right? And that'll be released through Red Bull TV.
Red Bull TV.
And then she has a whole bunch of like other assets coming out with the Red Bull TV.
Little edits like surrounding it.
Her with other people, friends on a POW day edit. So there'll be some cool like actual BTS.
There's already one BTS one out with us in there actually.
Yeah.
All right, cool. There we go. That's the plug I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then so that Red Bull TV, it'll also be on Red Bull YouTube Snow like mid-January.
All right.
They're gonna start Red Bull TV with that. And then Kuch's is gonna drop.
Here Goes.
Sam Kuch Here Goes on Arcteryx channel, probably November 20th.
Sweet.
Possibly before. So
did you guys supply a lot of footage to MSP?
Yeah, we shot all their footage.
Everything from.
And we shot Cole's, and then I shot a bunch of Logan's too.
Cole had some stuff in there too.
Yeah.
I think Jeff.
So how does that work?
How
does that work with like your movie and their movie? Obviously, there's going to be a couple overlaps.
Basically, we it's not the best thing to do, and we did like a full footage share, open. You use it, we use it.
Yeah,
but we did it because we wanted Sam to have maximum exposure.
And whose editing is better, right? So that's one of the reasons why we don't have Here Goes screening.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we talked about it, right? Because MSP's got.
But there's so much overlap.
Because MSP's got like Jeffy's got some of his stuff.
Yeah.
And then your stuff. So we didn't want to have like there's 3 projects with Sam in it, and we didn't want to have like the same thing over and over and over. So he asked Schmuck about it, and Schmuck just told him, he's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
in pure Kuch style, right?
Yeah. And honestly, whatever. And like we've got great plans for next year, and we'll probably keep it a little more bracketed out for who's getting what, and have some unique,
come up here to film
contact.
because of COVID anyways.
Yeah.
So we definitely hooked it up.
But we love those guys are pretty much me and Clay glimpsing into the future. I'm Murray and he's Gaffney. Like we're just looking at like we always joke about that. We had a couple calls with them. We're like, yeah, that's 15 years from now. Okay.
Gaffney's coming in late with his wetsuit and all.
Yeah.
Like, from surf.
Yeah,
Murray's
from Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so, because those dudes
they're
established.
Legends. Yeah, they're legends.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's hope you get to that new level, right?
We're like, is that us, or should we just get some commercial?
Are you keen on doing like full big hour-and-a-half long?
We talked about it a little
30
bit.
athlete
Hats
projects.
off to the people who do that. It's a lot of.
We could do it. Like
juggling.
literally, we could almost with how much footage we had from Tatum and how much footage we had from Kuch this year. We could like easily put out like a 45-minute edit.
But you condensed it into bangers.
That's probably.
Exactly.
I think that's our style.
That's our
keep
style.
it like
a 7-minute,
laser sharp.
15-minute.
We'll see.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
we could do it if we wanted to.
Right on. Well, dudes, thanks, Clay,
thanks
Simon,
for
thanks for coming. Everybody, go check out the Low Pressure Podcast. You can watch this on YouTube. I'm gonna as I edit this, I'm gonna hear about the things that I told about posting, and I'll post those. On the website and on social media and stuff. So hopefully you go check out the movies, and we're gonna go party this weekend for IF3. If you are listening to this, it's too late, so you can't do anything about it. Go to the IF3 website and you can watch some of the shows. The award show is gonna be streaming. We'll have it on there, and there's a bunch of other cool stuff. So, but enough about me. Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We saved that one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Epic.
You've been listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers. This has been a Redmark Media production.